thanks to the supporters of channel member Matt B88. Well, I can officially announce this is the best Bourne team we've ever put together. Unbeaten since 6 games before the end of last season, in an automatic promotion spot, on a cup run. We were on a cup run, we just got knocked out of that. I see now, we just got knocked out of that. But other than that, things are going well. Hello and welcome to part 94 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have 2 games for you in the Championship. We're at home against Cardiff and away against Bristol Rovers. Since you were last with me, as mentioned, things have been going really rather well, apart from this one little blip, but it's in the EFL Cup. It doesn't really matter. It is a little bit frustrating to lose to a team that I actually, when I looked at that before the match, I saw them 19th in the Championship. I now see they're 19th in the Premier League, and I'm less disappointed because we gave them a very good game. So actually, you know what? Not worried about that either. Very happy with how all this is going. I think we're 13 games undefeated in the Championship at the moment. And this is what the league table looks like. 8 games in. We're 3 points behind Villa with a game in hand. Win the game in hand, we go top of the league. Not only that, we also have finally solved the striker problem. What a difference having a striker makes. Evan Lahif is the top scorer in the Championship by miles. 11 goals in his first 8 games. 7.84 average rating. There was one game he scored 4 goals in the 5-2 away win over Huddersfield. But as you can see, he's been scoring quite a lot of goals. We like him. He's good. And hopefully he doesn't do a Pavlov and get all camera shy today. In fact, talking of Pavlov, I just want to see how he's getting on. I want to see if I was right about him. I know I don't usually check in on old players. Go on, Goran. Be tearing it up. Oh, Goran Pavlov's ruining the MLS, and I love every part of it. Lovely stuff. Right, team for the game against Cardiff. We've got Hardy in goal, a back four, and debut for Oparenko, the loanee who came in. In fact, he came in as a substitute in the last game, but he came in on loan right at the end of the transfer window. He's having to play because we're without. Where is he? Why can't I find him? I've lost our left back. There he is. He was injured. He could probably play if pushed, but he went off injured in the last game. Oparenko came on. He's going to stay on now because Cogni, I still haven't decided how we're going to say his name, is still not fully fit. You can see we've got some significant other injuries as well. Leonardo, Robinson, Fernandez, Train, Abukal, all injured. So, and we're still doing well. This bodes well for when we get our players back. Kalic, Cruz and Lastra making up the rest of the back four. Hernandez and Arnautovic back together again in central midfield. And then Scott, Gilligan and Zajic, last season's attacking midfield 3, together for the first time this season, with Lahif obviously up front. We had been getting lovely form out of Leonardo, but he's going to be injured for the next month or so. Fernandez would have been one of his first backups, got injured in the same game Leonardo got injured in, and Robinson, again, playing in this attacking midfield position, has been in fantastic form this season. So we're missing 2 of the attacking midfield 3 that have been making us look so good going forward. It's going to be interesting today to see if Lahif can do it without the same level of quality behind him that he's had so far. But obviously what we want to do is keep our run of form going in this game. We would like another win. I don't know where Cardiff are in the league. Cardiff are down in 9th place. Obviously still early days, so we're not going to read too much into that yet. And that was an enormous throw from Oparenko. I've been trying this long throw thing that we played around with in the Streamer Showdown at the weekend, and it has not worked. I guess Oparenko can actually do long throws. We're going to have a look at his long throw stat. Hold on. Let me have a little look. So Oparenko has a 10 for long throws, whereas Cogni, who normally plays, only has a 4, which is why it's not been working. I was on the verge of turning it off because it just wasn't working. Clearly, with Oparenko in the team, it might be a little bit more effective because he's going to do it again. Goodness me. Oh, my word. Oh, it's been disallowed that time. We're going to turn into Stoke. We've added Stoke from years ago, obviously. And we've got our own little Rory Delap. Oparenko might be forcing his way into the team. This could be a real weapon for us. I remember years ago when Posh had Andy Legg playing for them. This is probably going back 15 years. Old school lower league football fans will remember Andy Legg, and he used to be able to hurl the ball into the 6-yard box from pretty much anywhere in the opposition's half. He'd take the throws from both sides, and there were times when I'm pretty sure the only reason he was in the team was so that he could take the long throws. He wasn't really offering much else apart from that. And Oporenko, I mean, I'll have him in the team on that basis if it's going to be that much of a threat. And he's also just got one of their players sent off from something that wasn't involved in a long throw. Harwood getting a red card for a wild tackle on Oporenko. And we go in at half-time 1-0 up with them down to 10 men. A new string to our attacking Arsenal. You don't have strings on an Arsenal. I don't care. We can do long throws now. Yay. Right. If it becomes too... I don't know how much of an FM exploit this is. Let me know down in the comments. I am open to turning it off and not using it. Because if it's going to get silly, I don't want us to just be throwing the ball into the penalty area 5 times a game and scoring a couple of times from it every match, because it kind of goes against everything I stand for in Football Manager. That being said, I'll show you exactly what we're doing so you can make an informed decision. We've not changed anything. In fact, it would be easier to show you the attacking ones. We've not shown anything on how the players are arranged. This is all the standard stuff. All I've done is set the player instructions to long rather than mixed. So sometimes we'd have been doing long throws before anyway. I've not changed anything else. So it's not like I've downloaded a super cool long throw tactic. I've just told my fullbacks to throw the ball as far as they can when they take throws rather than taking short throws. So I think it's probably okay. Right, Scott and Ziyech both struggling, and we are running very low on wide players. We have no more wide players who can come on. I think we've been training a diamond. We haven't. Why have we not been training a diamond? This would be the perfect opportunity to wheel out a diamond. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to stick him there. We're going to take Scott and Ziyech off because I need a way to get Daniel Santos into the team, and obviously, we're not going to be dropping Lahif anytime soon, but we've also got... is Aparecido the defensive midfielder? No, we've got someone with a similar name. This one, Aragonese, is the natural defensive midfielder, so he can go in there. And we do have a nice little setup to be able to do a good diamond. We're going to get an Arnautovic a little bit further forward if we can. Perhaps he'll become the playmaker on support in there, and Hernandez is going to push forward a little bit more like that. That works for me, except I want them the other way around because we've got the more. In fact, I don't. I normally would, but I want Lastra going further forward than Oporenko, who's a centre back playing at left back. So we'll switch it to that. And that's what we're going to do. It's something we've not been training, so it could be a total disaster, but our wide players are dropping like flies, and the two that are in there today aren't really doing the job. Scott is a right winger / striker playing on the left wing, and Ziyech is a remnant from last year, and most of his contemporaries have been replaced by this point. Reed's going to come on at right back. I know we signed him as a centre back. He's played most of his games at right back for us now. We've actually got 4 centre backs on the pitch at the moment. Oh my word, we're playing with 4 centre backs. No wide players, and we're just trying to score through long throws and set pieces. We've become everything I dislike about football over the course of one game. But we got 3 points, and we're top of the championship, so who cares? Get in the Premier League by any means possible. Right, a little bit of rotation for the Bristol Rovers game. It's only been a couple of days since the last one, so we're swapping around the positions that run the most. So Hale comes in for Arnautovic in midfield, Congney comes in at left back, and Reed coming in at right back. Which I'll show you what Congney's long throws look like, and then you'll see why I'm probably going to turn them off, because it's painful to look at. Bruce also coming in on the left-hand side as well is probably worthy of mention. But yeah, running spots. I think we were pretty poor against Cardiff in the last game. We've played a lot better than that at times. I know obviously we've had a better attacking midfield collection of players, but both Robinson and Leonardo are going to be out for a little while. So what we need is to figure out a combination of players that's going to work in here, and maybe adding Bruce back into the mix. And this attacking midfield played the majority of last season together and were fine. with a real good striker in front of them, they might have been better than fine. So fingers crossed they show that again today, because now we're top of the Championship. I'd quite like to stay there. Ziyech charging down the right-hand side. He's done really well here into the area. Bruce is there, and Jake Bruce doing what Jake Bruce does. How many times have we seen that man score that goal in the last 2 or 3 seasons? It's literally the only contribution he makes to the game when he plays, but he's done it so many times that he must be closing in on being the club's all-time record goal scorer, just because he's been here a while and always gets into double figures for goals. Is this his 3rd season or his 4th season? I think the all-time record's only about 50 goals, so there's a chance he won't be a million miles away, because we've had such turnover of strikers. Ziyech plays it in, Lahif's there, and there's his 15th goal of the season. It's only September, and he's got 15 goals already this year. Talking of the all-time record goal scorer, I know he won't stay in this kind of form all year, and if he does, we'll lose him in January because he'll go off to the Premier League. But imagine if he carried on this kind of form all season. That man could single-handedly drag us kicking and screaming into the Premier League. Ziyech's probably not happy with my use of the phrase single-handedly there, with 2 assists. And after I've criticised him a little bit, now he's got a little bit of match fitness into him. He's showing exactly what I speculated he might show, that he's actually quite good. And it was more the players he had playing around him last year that were making him seem ineffective. I love how many Bourne fans are here, by the way. We've got such a passionate fan base. Lahif with the corner. It's there for Gilligan, and he shoots over. And a 3rd goal there puts us out of sight. But Gilligan, I would suggest, and you lot have been saying it for a little while, Gilligan might be the weak link in this team. He doesn't play when Robinson's fit. We're paying him nearly £30,000 a week as well. He's still got a transfer value in about the £5 million range. I think if anyone's willing to pay him that kind of money, we'd probably bite their arm off just to get him off the wage bill. He might even be the highest paid player at the club. I'd have to check on some of these players that came in the summer, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if Gilligan was the highest paid player at the club. And I think he's got at least another year on his contract. 2 more years on his contract at £27,500 a week. Luckily, there's no pay rises into that, even if we get promoted. But it's still a lot of money to pay what is very quickly becoming a reserve. Although obviously Robinson is only here on loan, so if he were to leave, if Tottenham were to call him back in January, which I'm not even sure they're able to do, but if they were, Gilligan would go back into the team as a regular starter. So I guess he needs to just sort himself out. Cogney, that was his first example of a long throw in this game. It wasn't disastrous. It wasn't particularly effective, but wasn't disastrous. So maybe we'll leave it on for a little while. Obviously, depending on what you lot say down in the comments. Lahif's in again. 16th goal of the season for him. I mean, you can call long throws an exploit as much as you like. Having this guy up front for us seems like more of an exploit. He is an absolute goal machine. And the ridiculous thing is, when we did the transfer special, you, just like me, I mean, I thought if I had to pick one of the strikers, I would have probably gone with the young German lad whose name escapes me, or Santos. Santos was the one I had all my hopes on. That's why we spent so much money on him. Cruz has made it 4-0. Where are Bristol Rovers in the league? They're down in 18th place. We're making this look very, very easy. We are a good team now. This feels like a promotion season, because this is not a full strength team, and we are playing very, very good football. The only thing that's potentially going to catch up with us is all these teams around us who've got all this money and better training facilities and all that kind of stuff that's going to help them as the season goes on. We're going to bring Arnautovic on. And you know what? We're going to bring Aragonesis on as well. And we're just going to drop back to this shape. And we're going to stick... I want to push him further forward. He can go like that. And we'll just go to a 4-3-3. Why not? And we're going to drop a little bit of praise as well, because we've played fantastically well. This might be a more sensible shape. If Gilligan's not going to perform, we've got a really good defensive midfielder knocking around the place that we brought in as an option for if we needed one. Now might be the time to actually use him. Reed's going to come off for Lastra for our final change, and this might end up being a more sensible shape for us to use. I'm not sure how I feel after all the success we've had in non-league to legend this year with Vermonti. Not sure how I feel about playing a defensive midfielder as a defensive midfielder, but he can't be a playmaker, so be it. But it seemed to work. We didn't concede loads of goals when we made the change. We still looked good. And more importantly, we are still top of the league and we still have the top scorer in the league by miles. There's no one interested in him yet. We probably need to be tying him down to a longer contract. He's only got 2 years. He's considered a good player for most Premier League sides. He's only 23. Evan. Oh, it's because he only just signed a new deal. That's all right. As soon as he's ready to sign, we need to get him tied down to a 5-year deal, because even if we end up outgrowing him over the course of 5 years, which seems unlikely, there's money to be made on this boy. I am sure of it. Right, we will wrap things up there for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.